keep it going. I'm kinda like I'm reading orders. Deadpool, got a fight and it full of high hopes. Look at my flow, DLMM, keep it liquid, it's never not so. Hold up like, whoa, talking about slippers, bro, I don't even know that hoe. Easy in this pizza, they get fees, a little bacon, start the vault until the cheese is done. Fools are paying me like I don't even go to beach, I'd rather be here on a feed or something. Best believe it's decent, wavy when I see sick, we chillin' in the deep end with it. Every weekend, see me, you can depend on it, cause I mean it coming up. You can even find a way to flood it up, you done enough, 10% stimulate and run it up. Point system looking like a flying where they won't miss a solid contribution, could've pointed out enough. I met up with Matt, had a really good chat, he's telling me bet up your army does laps, that orbit does this media's headed when no one's expecting and we watching it happen, in a pool of meteor, watch me swim, swap a bed, I just keep it going. I'm kinda like I'm reading orders. Deadpool, got a fight and it full of high hopes. Look at my flow, DLMM, keep it liquid, it's never not so. Hold up like, whoa, talking about slippers, bro, I don't even know that hoe. Easy in this pizza, they get peas, a little bacon, start the vault until the cheese is done. Fools paying me like I don't even go to beach, I'd rather be here on a feed or something.
All right, GMet, everybody. Welcome to our deep dive with Liquid Nova. I'm GeekLad. Really happy to be here with Otto and Nova Commander. And we're going to do a deep dive with Liquid Nova today. He's going to show us all the great stuff that they've been doing. Some really novel stuff that we really haven't seen up until now, which is really cool. But before we get into it, I'm going to kick it over to Otto so he can do a quick introduction of himself. He's going to be taking over the Meteor Incubator program. Really excited about Otto taking over. He's been a long-standing member of the Meteor community, an OG. And so, Otto, why don't you tell the audience a little bit about yourself and talk about what your vision is for the Meteor Incubator?
Happy to. I'll keep it brief because I want to keep the focus on Nova Commander and his cool product. But I've been in Solana since the 22 kind of collapse and even the mercurial days before Meteor got formed, and just been really enjoying the entire ride. Got a background in Web 2, got interested in crypto and Web 3, and here I am. And I'm really happy to be shepherding this project for you. I'll try to keep it in good hands and moving along. GeekLad, I just wanted to give my thanks for you starting this program in the first place and having the vision to realize that the way that Meteor exposes their API gives a really great opportunity for aspiring devs that want to build and add to the value of the underlying platform and share it with other people in the LP army and even wider. It was a great insight, and we've got some great tools. You and Alex have built probably the two kind of grandfather tools that we never even had to put in the incubator because they were so good and brought so much value to people right away. So thank you. And then moving forward, I mean, we've got, probably 15 tools that we're evaluating now. We've already brought attention to probably 5 of them. And the goal, as I see it, from transitioning from GeekLad, is to give devs and application builders attention and users, because all of us find value in providing useful things for other people and really enjoy when folks are using the tools. So the least we can do is give them attention and let them know if they're building something useful, because that's, in my experience, that's open source and that's engineers in general. They want to build useful things for people. Moving forward, I think what we want to do is continue that, as well as increase the magnitude of the spotlight that we're trying to shine on people, and also connect them with resources, like to the extent that the tools are particularly useful and can even become an independent project, help them get that foothold they need in product market fit to then take the next step. So the true sense of an incubator. And we don't want to try and steal anybody else's, flow as far as application developers, but we want to be another service along those lines in the Solana ecosystem. So why don't I stop there? Happy to expand on myself or whatever, but like I said, I want to keep the focus on Liquid Nova and Nova Commander.
All right. Well, first of all, thank you guys for having me. It's actually a real honor to be here, showcasing Liquid Nova and all these features. Well, I'm the Nova commander. I'm the mastermind behind the Liquid Nova. Believe it or not, it's a one-man team. So I've been doing everything, literally everything. I've been in crypto since the end of 2020, 2021. I was mostly Ethereum guy, providing liquidity and experimenting with mostly Uniswap before it became B3. And then it was, to be honest, it was unsustainable. Like fees in Ethereum are crazy.
Yep.
And then I found out about Solana, and I really liked it, and how fast it was, like how much options it gave you in terms of fees. Like you can build a lot of things because you don't have to like spend so much on fees that it's much easier to build something on Solana. It's a great technology. I discovered Meteor, I'd say maybe 2 years ago, kind of. And I've been building bots and automations for about 3 years, I'd say. Different, like completely different platforms and different kinds of automations. But then in November last year, I started building Liquid Nova. It was actually for myself only, because I wanted something to automate like liquidity pools. I was like I don't want to be out of range a lot of time, so I just want to build something for myself to keep myself in range. And then I said, like, this is actually a good idea to share with people. I think people will find it really useful, and that's how it started. I didn't want to build a Telegram bot because I don't like the interface, so I started building it like a web app, and it was like growing. It started really simple, and then started growing. And only you GeekLad being with me since February, I think. We've been discussing about all the improvements and everything, and it. Then I had this idea of adding the strategies that you'll see in a minute. It's a very complex engine. You can do a lot of things, but it can be really simple as well because you have presets, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Yeah, so now we're at a point that I'm really, really happy with what I built and how strong it is. And we've opened like a testing phase 3 weeks ago. We had like a really good comments from the users and feedback, and we're at a safe point that we can say like, okay, it's time to start like making a real product. So yeah, thank you for having me, and we can have a look at all the things Liquid Nova has to offer if you want.
Awesome. Yeah, it sounds like your track was kind of similar to mine as well. Like I started off, on Ethereum, and same as you, playing around with a lot of different dApps and decentralized applications on Ethereum. And same as you, I left when the fees got astronomical, because for like a little guy like me, it wasn't possible to really do market making on Ethereum anymore.
Yeah.
And I went over to Solana, very, very similar track. So that's really cool. Sounds like we've kind of been on the same journey. I'm kind of on the similar mind as you in terms of UI. Like I'm not a big fan of the Telegram bots either. Like I rather have a UI that presents everything rather than trying to do it via a bot. But I don't know, maybe because I'm a little old school, but But I'm kind of with you on that. But some of the Telegram bots out there are pretty good too, and it's always pretty convenient when you can do it through a texting or a chat medium. So all right, cool. Let's get on with your little presentation here, and then we'll dive into the demo.
Okay, yeah, I have a really small presentation, so I want to make it quick because there's a lot of features to show. So yeah, there's a little some of the features here. We're gonna go quickly over them. So with Liquid Nova, you can build simple or complex strategies with auto rebalance, fee compounding, take profits, stop loss, auto swaps, and more. I'll be showcasing every single aspect of this in detail in a minute. We offer real-time strategy monitoring, so you can see your performance and your position live, like with P&L and the fees earned, fees claimed, and all that. This is quite useful because there's a lot of, we all are a little bit degen, so if you're LPing with meme coins and very volatile pools, you need something that's real time, because even though you can easily get out of range in a matter of seconds, and with Liquid Nova you can bring it back in range right away. That was one of my main features, one of my main ideas behind this, because if you do rebalances every, I don't know, half an hour, every hour, that's all right for not so volatile pools, but when you're interacting with volatile pools, then you need something quick. You can make your own presets. You can make your own strategy and save it as a preset. You can share it with friends. I'm going to show you that in a minute. A week ago, I added the rack check technology. So you will see all the pools list, and then you can check for the rack check score, and just to make sure that you don't interact with some dodgy pools, because I think it was last week that there's a lot of people that got kind of rugged in a few pools. So I said yeah, this is something I want to add, because at least people have the chance to check it before they add liquidity, and then they just decide if they want to do it or not. We have a copy trading system, which seems to be very popular lately. This has an unlimited subscription, so you can subscribe to unlimited number of wallets. With the same technology, you have real-time monitoring, and you can also add it has features that you can use, you can use size limits, filters for tokens. If you want to open certain kind of pools, you can skip them. It has auto swaps, when the original wallet closes the position and then withdraws, the Liquid Nova can create an auto swap and bring everything back to Sol. You have also take profits and stop loss, which sometimes it's ideal because sometimes that the wallet that you're copying, it's a bit more degen that you want to, and maybe the price goes down, and you'd rather be I'd rather be safe and have a stop loss at, I don't know, 10% and not lose a 50%. So when it detects that, it will just close it. It also has the rack check integration there as well for the copy trading. So if there's the copy wallet is interacting with a dodgy pool, it will just skip it. You can, we'll show you that, but you can just set the score you want. If you say if it's over 50% score, don't copy it, just skip it. We have the wallet analytics that will show you top performance by P&L, win rate, frequency, and average holding time. I'll show you that as well. There's a rich P&L stats dashboard. There's a noise now. Can you hear the noise? Is it me?
I think it might be.
No, I don't hear it. But do you want
Oh, wait,
to
stop.
switch to some of the visuals instead of the text here? It's
Okay.
I would love to dive in and give folks some ideas of what you're talking about instead of talking about all the features, and maybe we can come back to this.
Sure. Okay. Let's go straight to the Liquid Nova website, and I'll just show you everything. So let me share that screen instead.
It's really impressive how much you've added in the last 6 months.
Yeah.
From the start, based on some of the feedback, it sounds like, but super cool.
It's been, I'm not even joking, like 10, 12 hours a day, every single day.
Wow, that's great.
Okay, do you see my screen?
Yes.
Cool. So this is the main website. Just a quick dive through it. Okay, let's start with the first tab, which are pools. Oh, I didn't mention. So you can just head to the website and you can create an account. It's completely free, of course. If you have a Google account, you can just sign in with one click. And if you want to, you rather use an email, a different email, you'll have to get an invite code for now. You can get that one on the Discord server.
And you have a link to the Discord server on the main site.
Yeah, so let me show you where it is. So here on the bottom left,
Okay.
you have the X, Discord, and the docs. So the docs show a little bit, they're not 100% updated, but they show you like how the strategies work and more details about the Liquid Nova. But like for the Discord server, you can copy the link right on the chat so people can click on it if they want to.
And when you go into the Discord server, it's you have to do a / command to request the code, right?
Yeah, it's /get_invite.
So, like, oops, like this, right? /get
Yes.
_invite. Okay.
Exactly. Okay. Should we go to the pool section?
Let's do it.
Okay. So it's loading the pools. And here you see all the available pools in Meteora. And you can just click on one of them. This one. And it will display the pools available with all the details like liquidity, volume, base fee, APR, and the bin step is right over here. And then, for example, what I like doing is I go directly to the APR. So you can sort them by name, liquidity, APR, volume, fee. I'll go for the APR. And then what I like doing is, because there's a few like this one has 1.7K liquidity. Like you don't want to enter that one for sure. You have more advanced filters here. You can be like, I want them to be at least, I don't know, 15K. So you have these options now. And you can like add a volume range, I don't know, like. And now you have only these pools available now. It's 26 pools. And then this is what I was talking about, the rack check. So let's check this one, Mooncat. Okay, so this is a 51 out of 100. The creator sold all his tokens, which is good. This risk, I'd say it's kind of okay. Like I wouldn't mind that too much. DLP unlocked. But this is a combination of things, like how many holders there is, if the creator sold his tokens or not. Let's see if we can find some others. This one's fine, for example, like 9,700 holders, all balance sold. This one's safe. Let's see if we can find like a dodgy one. This one, for example, has a high holder concentration, which is not ideal. Yeah, you can see all the risk here. Instead of going to the Raktik website, copy and paste in the address, you can just check everything here without leaving Liquid Nova.
Very cool.
Yeah, because it's a bit risky. Like there's a lot of pools that are quite risky. So at least, as I say, like at least people have the option to check that, and they can decide if they want to enter or not. Of course, the risky ones are the ones that give you more fees, but it's happened to me that you enter those, and I don't know, maybe like 10, 15 seconds after that, they're gone. Liquidity is gone. So yeah. So you can manage your own risk, and if you want to enter it, you can do it. So we have the strategies here, which is kind of creating a position, but there's a twist to it. You can automate a lot of things. So what I can do is, let's check a pool, like, I don't know, something. For example,
And
this
then
one,
as
the
you-
Mooncoin. Yeah.
As you're going into that, we should probably let people know it is a custodial app. So when you log in,
yeah.
you will need to create a wallet. And you'll see in a minute why that's so important, because it automates a lot of work for you. But just as you're, I think it's a great solution. I think it's probably the future for a large swath of users that are yet to join. But I think everyone understands the architecture choice there, but maybe you can comment on it.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, I forgot about that. So when you create an account, you need to follow the steps. It's a really easy guide to follow the steps. It will create a wallet for you. It will show you your address, which is the public key, and you will have to input your password to reveal the private key, which is something that you shouldn't share with anyone, never, ever, because then if you share that, the other person will have control over your wallet. So once you write down the private key and you accept, you will end up in the main screen, as I was here before, because I already created an account. It's the one I've been using for a long time, just for testing. And just in case, like, you didn't write down the part, because with a private key, you could import it to the wallet of your choice. Like, I don't know, let's say Phantom. So you can control it from there as well. Of course, you will not be able to automate it from Phantom, but like if you want to like withdraw and send it somewhere else or do whatever you want, you can do it from Phantom. The automations, of course, will have to be inside Liquid Nova. And if you want to, for example, let's say you didn't write down the private key at first, you can do here, this pop-up will appear. It will send an email here. Your email should appear. And what we'll do is it will send a verification code to your email that you will have to input. You'll have 5 minutes to input here to reveal the private key. So it's a way of getting it more secure and not just like revealing the private key to everyone like easily. You have to validate that with the code you get on your email, and that email is the one you use to create the account. So people cannot send it to any other email, which is the safest option.
So once they sign up and
Mhm.
Liquid Nova creates the wallet for them, then they'll need to fund that wallet from another
Yeah.
wallet.
Yeah, they will have to transfer. So they will have to write down their address, their public key, and then they can transfer funds to that wallet. And when they do that, you have your username here. It's going to be your email. And then you have your wallet here, the one that was created by Liquid Nova. And when you click on it, this is going to take a little bit because I have a lot of coins that I was testing with. You will see your address. You can copy it. And you will see it's going to be showing just Sol, and it's going to be 0. But once you transfer that, once you transfer Sol to that address, you will see it here. And then if you start interacting, you will see like all the tokens here and your like balances. Yeah, so you will see basically you'll see the same as on your Phantom wallet.
Awesome, thank you. Yeah. GeekLad, do you have any thoughts about general thoughts about custodial versus self-custodial?
Yeah, I mean, generally speaking, obviously self-custodial is the best, but I think
for security,
yeah, for security. But when it comes to
Liquid Nova did it for UI reasons, yeah.
Right. Well, for UI and I think
sorry, UX.
When it comes to automation, it's very, very difficult, if not almost impossible, to do it without having custodial access to the keys, right? Because if you think about a self-custodial app, even if it has automatic approval, you still have to interact with it to execute the transactions. So, I suppose you could do some kind of automation with a web app that has, that where the wallet allows automatic approvals, but you'd have to have the app running all the time in a browser in order for it to function behind the scenes. So
I don't think you can do that unless you have like your own program in Solana that accepts the signatures, that signs the transactions.
Yeah, well,
I think you can automate.
I think with some wallets like Solflare with like approved websites like Meteora or Jupiter, you can actually tell it to automatically sign the transactions for you. But
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but you would have to have, you have to go through a pretty rigorous process, I think, in order to get those approvals. But even if you did that, you would still have to have the app running all the time, the web app running all the time. So I think for automations, if you wanted to do an automation self-custodial, you could, but you'd have to then install the software on your computer, right? So there are some tools that do that, like Soul Decoder works that way. There's some open source tools out there that have bots, but you do have to have some technical wherewithal to be able to set up the environment, and whether it's running on a Docker container or running with a Python environment or a Node.js environment. You have to have some technical prowess to be able to set those kinds of things up. So I think for the average user, something like this is very good. As long as you can trust the developer and they're not going to run away with all of your tokens. So
and then Nova Commander, I think it would be a great opportunity, or just to emphasize on your behalf, like you're looking at running this as a business, and you see a very large opportunity ahead of you. It's not in your interest to be thinking about small deposits and so on. But do you have any thoughts about that? Yeah.
Like, imagine, I spoke about this with Geek. Like, imagine if I work for every single day for 7 months just to make a scam. Trust me, it wouldn't look
Yeah.
like this at all. And it wouldn't work. No.
Yeah.
Totally. Cool. Okay. Sorry for that tangent. Please get us going with some strategy creation.
Okay. Let me go back to the website. So let's choose this one, for example, Mooncoin. Once you click on it, it will take you to the create strategy page. And here we'll load everything. Like this is the pool address, and you have the pool details, volume, TVL, bin step, APR, and the token addresses that you can copy as well if you want to, and your wallet balances for that token and so. Okay, and here, let's start by this part. You can see the chart if you're on the top right. You can see the chart if you want to. This is from Dex Screener, but of course you don't have to leave the website to go to Dex Screener. You have it all here embedded, and you have the same tools. You can, for example, do, I don't know, like if you want to check the percentage to, I don't know, to input like a good range, or just check whatever you want, you can do it from here. This will be useful for when you create a strategy later. So you can go back and forth between charts and the pool details. You also have the templates. This is what I was talking about in the beginning. Like when you first create your account, you'll only see the default ones, which are these ones that have like a lock, because they cannot be edited. And they explain, they're pretty self-explanatory. They explain what they do. For example, this one, spot sol rebalance, it will create a one-sided sol spot position with 10 being range and threshold. When out of range, it will swap 100% of the position back to sol and rebalance, creating a new position in range. And the fees will be claimed every 15 minutes and swap to sol. Then, of course, you have to adjust your settings and ranges to your taste. But it's just like a preset to get you started. I will be creating a lot more presets, like basic ones and more complex ones for people to try out. And people can create their own. Once they create the automation, they can go to save, input their name and description, and they will be saved here on the list, and then they can share them with this code right here. You can just copy it and send it to friends or whoever they want, and then when they load it, when they import it, they will go to import, and you input the code here, and it will load that preset, and it will be stored on your list, so you have it forever. It's going to be there for you. So you can, for example, you can like import someone's preset and then change it a little bit and then save your own version of it. So it gives you a lot of options to share and edit, and basically then you have everything. Like you can just open a position with one click. Let's say I want to do this one. You click on it and it will load the strategy. I'm going to go step by step on the strategy creation. So I'll create a brand new one. So once you enter here the strategy creation page, you'll see a create position step like this. So the way strategies work is kind of like a timeline that you build with blocks. Each block, you have them here. You can create a position, close the position, swap tokens, wait time, have an if condition. This will spread into two different paths if certain conditions meet, and a repeat strategy step, which will repeat the complete automation strategy from the beginning, from step one. Okay, so let me show you how you would create a basic automation, for example. So the first step is create position, and you will have all your already known values you can input. You can do like one-sided bid ask, for example. You have this option here as well. It's a price trigger. So what this means is if I activate it, this position will not be created until this condition is met, which it's if it goes, let's say, above the current, this is the current price. If it goes above this price, it will create it. But you can say whatever price you want. So for example, I could go to the chart and be like, I don't know, if it goes 0.003, I want to open it. Wait, this is in USD. This isn't Sol. So if it goes, I don't know, 0.002. So if it goes above this price, it will create it. If not, it will just wait until that condition is met. If that condition is never met, then it will not open it, and you will probably have to cancel it if it went out of range by a long distance and might never reach this number. You can do it above or below. That's up to you. Or if you want to, you could use percentages. So let's say if it goes above 15% of the current price, execute it, and this is the calculated price, so 0.00021. That's a 15%. That's if you want to trigger the automation when a certain price hits, but if you don't, you can just leave this off, and it will be like a normal position creation. You have your deposit amounts, of course. Here you can select the ranges. By default, it's on in bin mode. And you can be like, I don't know, 69 bins. And it will show you in the graph, it will show you like how your liquidity is distributed. This is the current price. So since we're doing a one-sided bid ask Sol, this is how it looks like. But of course, like if you change it, it's gonna be, I don't know, this or whatever other like spot or any kind of position you want, you can create it. And what we have, which is this exactly the same as like creating a position in Meteora's website. But we have something that are called the thresholds, which is like a limit that you can set. For example, let's say I do bid ask for 69 bins. You also have the equivalent, sorry, you have the equivalent here of percentages. So 69 bins will be equivalent of roughly 50%, minus 50%. And if you do, I don't know, like 10 bins, it would be a minus 9.5%. So let's say you want to do this, let's do 69. And this threshold means, for example, if I set it to, let's say, I don't know, 30, you can see the mark is right here. So when price goes below this mark, which is roughly a 26%, minus 26%, the next step will trigger. Now we don't have any next step, it's just like create position. But what I usually do, like this is if you don't want to, for example, be completely out of range. You can set your threshold to be whatever you want. You can set it to be the same as the bin range, or you can do it lower if you want to make sure you don't get out of range. What I usually do is just do the same as the bin range and just add it some wait time, which I'll show you in a minute. And the same goes for the other side. So this is the current price. And if it goes above the current price a 5%, then the next step will trigger. So for example, if, I don't know, let's say 10%, this is usually for if the price is going up, of course, you won't be earning any fees because the price is around here, so you don't have any liquidity there. So what you could do is like, say, I don't know, like if it goes 5% above the current price, just close this position and create a new one. So you will be back in range again. And you can set it either in price or percentage. It's all equivalent. So you'll see when you change one of them, it will change on all the other modes.
Awesome. Are you going to show us like a bid ask flip automate preload or something like that? I didn't want to mess up your flow, but I think that's what you're talking about, right? Like it would automatically do that flip for you.
Well, it won't, because we haven't automated that. It will just close the position. So you have both triggers.
But I mean, in the preloaded strategy that you have up above.
Yeah, I'll show you that one. I just want to quickly go through the steps, and
all right, go ahead.
Then we can just preload that one. So let's say if it goes over the range, those are our threshold sets. And we can do next, what I usually recommend is add a if condition. So what this means, everything is explained, each step is explained at the bottom. You'll see exactly how it works. But this one, as you can see, it splits the timeline into two different paths. And if certain conditions are met, it will take path A. And if certain conditions are met, it will take path B. So for example, we can do the bin price if it goes above the threshold we set here. So this one. So basically, if it goes above a 5% here, it will take path A. And if it goes below the lower threshold, which is this one, bin 69, which is right here, so like a minus 50%, you will take path B. You can do that, or you can do, for example, instead of thresholds, you can set your target price if you want to, or you can do P&L. So if your position has a P&L of 5%, then it will take path A. Or if it goes, I don't know, like a minus 25, it will take path B. And then you can add any other steps on each path to follow that. So for example, I say, so if P&L goes above a 5%, then I want to close that position. You can add that. You have a lot more options here. You can like close it if it reaches certain price, if it reaches your previously set thresholds here on the create position, or no trigger, which will be immediately executed once this condition is met. So if it goes 5% above, it will immediately close the position. And then, for example, you could, I don't know, you could add a swap. So you can do, if you earn any fees in Mooncoin, in this case, you can just swap all of them. You can set your slippage here.
It kept your contacts. That's awesome. So it knew you're working with this pool, so it just put that in.
Yeah. So this is the this timeline interacts with it's all based on the first position you created. So if it goes above, if you set a PNL of 5%, you may or may not have, when you close the position, you may or may not have the moon tokens. You probably only have them as fees. So it will swap all the fees you generated into Sol with your slippage. And then, for example, after swapping, maybe you want to repeat the strategy. There's a lot of customization here as well. You can do, let's say, I want to repeat it with the original amount. So, for example, it goes out of range above for a 5% PNL. You will close it, swap whatever earn of moon into Sol, and then repeat it. So it will create a new one from the beginning, from the create position, with the original amounts that you set in this one. Or you can use the withdrawn amounts or your custom percentages. This is, for example, if you know that when the automation is finished, you probably you don't have that token right now, but you'll probably have it. So, for example, if it goes below the range, you know that you will have a lot of moon coin and no Sol. So at the moment, I don't have it, but I know it's going to be all moon coin. So I will do this to repeat the strategy because I know it's going to be all moon coin. And then, of course, you can also change you can use the original position settings, or you can just make a different kind of position with the different ranges and thresholds, different kind of a position. You can literally automate everything and make really custom automations. You can do complex ones. You can do really simple ones. And you also have this feature that you can auto claim the fees. So, for example, this is very customizable as well. You can claim them every 15 minutes, every 30 minutes, every hour, every 3 hours. And then you can choose what to do after you claim them. So you could swap them to Sol. You can do nothing. If you want to, just keep whatever fees you claimed, just keep them in your wallet. You could swap them to Mooncoin if you wanted. You can swap them to Sol. You can swap the Mooncoin generated to USDC or Sol to USDC. And for example, let's say I want to swap them to Sol. And what do I want to do after swapping? I can either do nothing, just keep the Sol, or I can add it as liquidity if I want it. So let's say I earn Sol, I earn Mooncoin, I swapped it to Sol, and I want to add that Sol as liquidity. And then you would just do add Sol, and the source is going to be from the swap tokens. And there's like a summary of what will happen. We'll be claiming 15 minutes and Mooncoin tokens we will swap to Sol, then add a Sol-sided liquidity 1% slippage. So you can save your settings. And so every 15 minutes is going to claim the fees if there are any and do all this, reinvest them, or just keep them, or whatever you want to do with them. Yeah, so basically there's a few more. For example, there's another step called wait time. You could wait days even if you want to. You can wait hours, you can wait minutes for the next step to happen. I usually don't use it, but I have it there just in case. I don't use it because I forgot to show you this. On the if condition when it chooses the path, depending on if the condition is met or not, you can do, for example, let's go back to the thresholds we set. So for example, in this create position step, I created a 5% threshold. So if it goes 5% above, which means I'm not earning any fees because there's no liquidity here, what I can do is, okay, when it reaches that upper threshold, I can either immediately execute the next step, which will be closing the position, or if you want to, you can wait. Let's say I want to wait, I don't know, 30 seconds. So this is very useful if you have like a volatile pool, and it doesn't mean, like, if it goes above that threshold, it doesn't mean it's gonna stay there. So maybe you wait for 30 seconds and it comes back in range. So that will save you of like doing a useless rebalance because it went back in range. So it's for like if you have like a sudden spike in price, you will not close the position. You will just wait a little bit and then confirm. If it's still out of range after 30 seconds or whatever you choose, then you will close it or follow with the next step. And yeah, it's basically to make sure that it's not a like spike, it's more a tendency, not just a sudden spike in price. Yep. So basically that's it. I know there's a lot of options and customizations. That's why some people might prefer to use presets. So let's load one of those. You mentioned the bid-ask flip, which we created with the help of Mr. GeekLad here.
Okay.
So you just load it, and we can check what it's doing. So the first step, it will create a position with whatever sol you want, with 69 bin ranges. This percentage, of course, is going to depend on the bin step of the pool. It's not always going to be 50%. It depends on the pool, but it's going to be calculated automatically. You don't have to do anything. But just bear in mind that it will show a different value. Okay, it will create this position. Then it will go to the next step, which is this if condition. So if it goes above the upper threshold that we set here, this one, so a 5% above, it will wait for 45 seconds. And if the condition still remains true, it will go to path A, which has all these steps. And the same for the lower threshold. If it goes below the lower threshold for 15 seconds, stays there for 15 seconds, then it will take path B. So path A will close the position. So if it goes out of range above, it will close the position. It will swap the tokens of the fees you earn to sol, and it will repeat the strategy with the original amounts. So it's basically shifting your whole liquidity to the upper bins. So following the
Chasing the price up.
Yeah, you will basically chasing the price up. And since we don't have any fees in rebalancing, we don't charge any fees on rebalancing. You can just rebalance as many times as you want, which is pretty useful. So if it goes below the lower range, so basically all your sol will be turned into whatever token it is. It will close the position, and then it will repeat the strategy, but this is the main difference. It's going to use custom percentages. So it's going to use all the moon coin available, because since it went down the lower threshold, you won't have any sol in that position. Everything was going to be turned into moon coin. So it's going to use all that balance to create the new position. And it's going to be a one-sided X, so it's one-sided token, not one-sided sol, because you won't have any sol. And these are the ranges. And it's going to be a bid-ask as well. So basically, if it goes above the range, it will change the price and swap whatever fees you earn to solve. And if it goes below the range, you will close the position and make a new one with all the tokens. It's going to be a bid ask but token instead of bid ask sol. And hopefully it go back up and be transformed into sol. And just be, that one would be like an infinity loop. It will just be chasing the price up and down with different positions.
Can you go back to the custom bins there? Can you scroll back down a little bit and maybe explain that a little bit?
So
the
yeah,
custom
so
bin
this,
ranges there.
So this is basically the same as the create position here, where you have the bins and the ranges, the threshold and the bin range. So you're going to be setting whatever ranges you want for the new position. So for the positions that's going to be created when it reaches this step, it's not going to be a sol position anymore because it went down the lower threshold. It's going to be a token position. So you can change the ranges, like you can do whatever range. This one, we set it to 69, but maybe you want the token position to be, I don't know, like 10, or you can do 69 as well if you want to.
Okay. So if you
This is
wanted to basically go to the same range, you would have to then put that number. You would have to put 69 bins there for the upper range and the upper threshold.
Yes.
Okay.
But once you're happy with, let's say I'm happy with this, like 69, I could go up and save it. And let's say,
Yeah, call it your custom
bid
bid ask
ask.
flip or whatever.
Yeah, description here. And then, for example, I'm going to load the original one. So this one's 15. This is the basic preset.
Right.
If I load mine, that should be changed
To the 69.
So that's 69 now. So you could literally just create your ideal, even with the amounts, you can set the amounts and those will be stored as well in the preset. So you could literally just be like, okay, click, create strategy, and that's it.
Yeah,
and you can, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I think what I love about what Nova Commander has done here, Otto, it's very novel, right? Because a lot of the other automations you see out there, they're just one strategy, just spot, and only if it's out of range one way or the other, then it does a 50-50 rebalance, and then it opens a new position. You could do that with Liquid Nova. You could set up a strategy to do that, but you could do really any sort of customization you want. And Nova Commander, I think you've got a really good opportunity to sort of gamify this, right? So, maybe one thing you can do in the future is, I don't know, like allow people to share them as public, so that maybe then it comes into like, public shared strategies, and then you could even see what the P&L performance is for everybody who's using that same strategy, and then you could even have like a leaderboard that says, here's the top custom strategies. I think you could do some really, really cool stuff with that.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea. I have this preset sharing in mind because of the LP army. Like people will be like, okay, I have this that's really working. Just load this preset and there you go.
Right.
You don't have to do anything else.
Yep.
This one works great for,
Otto, your mic is kind of really weird. Yeah. I think the buzzing's coming from yours.
Yeah, I can hear a buzzing.
Does it stop when I mute?
It stops when you mute.
That's up, yeah.
Before it was happening on and off. Now it seems like it's on. Let but yeah, I think the opportunity to gamify this and have like a leaderboard for strategies and stuff would be really cool. You know, give users the option to whether or not they want to make their
Public.
strategies public, and then if
Mhm.
they opt to make them public, then they can be on the leaderboard with that strategy.
I'll write it down. It's actually a good idea.
Yeah.
And so another thing that I didn't mention, like this is for since you can automate everything. For example, instead of, let's say, doing a create position, you can even do like swap and be like, okay, I want to, let's say, buy Mooncoin. When it reaches, you can do this price trigger for every step. So when it reaches whatever price, let's say, I don't know, 5 or whatever, you can swap. So you can buy or sell a token if you want at a certain price, which is pretty powerful as well. Or you could, for example, with this price trigger, you could do like, I don't know, create a position when, I don't know, it reaches a certain price, create the whole strategy, and then create a new strategy with another price that will cover the range that the other strategy left off. So you can like kind of chain strategy if you want to as well. It's a bit more complicated, but there's a lot of things you can do if you are creative. You can automate and do a lot of things.
Yeah, that's another really cool thing about this, that I think it'll be really interesting to see what sort of creative strategies other people come up with, right? And see what happens once they share those with other people. That's why I really like the idea of a leaderboard, right? Because then you have all these people sharing strategies and almost becomes sort of competitive. And then you could really see some interesting stuff there. I'd really love to see, you know, what other people are doing and see other people sharing those strategies and see how they're performing with those strategies.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Hopefully in the near future.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically that's
Yeah,
it from the strategies part, and we created also like a version of the bid ask flip that will not be in a constant loop forever, but
just
what
a
will
one-time
happen?
flip.
Yeah, so what will happen instead is if it goes, as we said with the other one, if it goes above range, we'll swap the tokens and then repeat it. But if it goes below, it will close the position. And here's the difference. There's a create position step. So it will close the original one, but then it will create a new one. Instead of repeating and going back to the first one, it will create a new one as a step. And this one is, as you can see, like one-sided Mooncoin with 100% of the balance. And here you can see like percentages will be calculated based on your actual token balances when the strategy is executing. So now I don't have any Mooncoin, but if it reaches this path, I will for sure.
Right.
And you can see here it's going to be 69 pins. And as a kind of a stop loss, you have it here is the lower threshold. It's going to be, in this case, it's going to be 30 pins, so like a 26% almost stop loss. So if it goes above, it will close the position and swap all Mooncoin to Sol, and it will
Which
stop
would just be
there.
any remaining fees at that point.
Yeah, and it will stop there because there's no repeat strategy.
Right.
But if it goes below, it will be like a stop loss again, because if it goes above, it will close it. Yeah. you're gonna be at 20, 25%, 26% down, but it's kind of like a stop loss because maybe if you kept it going, you might end up, I don't know, like a 50% down or.
Right. Yeah, that's
So
really cool.
This one here acts as a stop loss kind of thing. Yeah, as I said, like there's a lot of complex automations you can do. So that's why like I want to create more presets for people just to be like, just load it and that's it. So, and I will encourage people to create their own and share them on our Discord server. There's like a share strategies channel where people can just share their codes and share their experiences with them.
Very cool. Yeah, and you could track win-loss rates. You could track total percent profitability at the strategy level when people share them. It would be really cool. Yeah.
Yep.
So we haven't even got into the copy trading. So I mean, with this is like what you've done here is fantastic. I don't think anyone else has really done this to this level and has had this sort of flexibility in an automation. And it's really cool because you could keep it simple and it can do the same thing that a lot of the other automations do, but then it can do so much more.
Yeah, that's really up to the user what they want to do. Like maybe they just want to do rebalances and that's it.
Yep.
Or they want to do complex automations. I guess it depends on the level of the user. There's people that just rather do simple stuff, or they're scared to like do more complex things. But I had users that been asking me for like really complex automations and been trying to assist them and build them with them.
Yep.
So it's very interesting. Like those kinds of users, you can have the simple one or the one that wants really something really complex, and I think they can achieve both.
Yep.
There's something for everyone.
For sure. Let's take a look at the copy trading. Why don't you show us a little bit of that?
Do you want me to create a strategy just to show you how it looks?
Oh yeah, sure. Let's do it.
Let's do this one. I'm gonna load the bid-ask flip, and I'm gonna do 0.5 just to test. Oh, also I forgot about this. You can name your strategy. So when you have like a lot of strategies or positions open, you know which one you're referring to. So I can name this one, I don't know, incubator test. Then it will take you to the other part of the strategy section. One is to create, one is to view strategies. Here you will see the strategy should appear any minute now. So you see, this is the strategy we just created. It's loading all the values. So you see, this is the P&L. Now it's minus 100% because it hasn't got all the details yet from the Solana network. You have the initial deposit. You have your current value. This is going to change as well in a minute. Okay, so now it's loaded everything. Our P&L is minus 0.02. This is because taking into consideration the sold price as well. So if your position hasn't moved, but sold price changed a little bit, you see it reflected here. Now it's plus 0.01. So yeah, initial deposit value and the fees values, your P&L. Here you can see how your position is made of. So we have this moon coin and this sol. There's no fees to claim. You will see here, you'll see the range. This is going to be where the price is now. And it will go up and down. You will see it up and down depending on the price of the pool. if you click here on this arrow, you will see more details. So you can see all the steps that you have in the strategy. This is right now on step number 2. It's waiting for a condition to meet. You can claim the fees from here directly. You can add more liquidity from here. You can close the position if you want. You can close it only, or you can close it on swap sol automatically. And if you go here into view details, you see even more details about each step. So here we have like position details again, and you'll see like the step number 1 was completed. These are the details, 0.5 sol, the time when it was completed. Now we have this active step, which is if it goes above upper threshold, it's 5 bins away. If it goes below, it's 69 bins away. And it shows you here where it is. And it shows you the status is waiting for either path A or path B condition to be met. So far it hasn't moved. And you will see the pending steps, close position and swap tokens and repeat. And this is for the other path, close position and repeat. These are pending because, of course, nothing has changed yet. So, but, well, now it's out of range. You can see here now. Let's go back to this graphic. So now you can see it's out of range, but it's just 1 bin below our range. And we set our threshold to be like 5 bins below. So nothing's going to happen.
Above, right?
Above, yeah, sorry, above. Nothing's going to happen until it reaches this threshold. It might come back or might go above. We'll see. But yeah, it will tell you when it's out of range. So maybe if you want to, I don't know, close it, you can close it if you want to manually. Now it's back in range. So most likely it's going to fluctuate like out of range and in and out of range. But that's actually what we want.
Yep.
Yeah, so this is by default, you will see all your active strategies. They will be added here on the screen, but you can go to filter strategies by pending, completed, fail, or cancel. If you go to all strategies, these are all the ones I've been testing. Like there's a lot of positions here. You will see all your completed strategies. And you can, for example, so this one we just created, if it goes out of range, if it repeats, so if it creates a new position, it will be named the same, but it will add a number here, like see if it creates a new one, it's going to be incubator test 1, incubator test 2, incubator test 3. Depends on how many rebalances it's doing. And for example, now it's out of range again. Let me show you. So you can either check your like P&L individually, like here, or if you go, let me find one with lots of rebalances. This one, Kill Bill, for example. You can see like 9, 10, 11, 12. This means like all the rebalances, it's done for the strategy. And you can choose any of them and just go to view performance. And you will see the full strategy performance. Let's wait until it's loaded. Wait. Let me check something. Am I still making noise? GeekLad?
No, it's good. You're good now.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
I don't know what's going on with my headphones. Are just disconnecting. Yeah, so you will see, I don't know what it didn't load this time, but you will see every strategy. I'm sorry, every rebalance of the strategy with their P&L and the total P&L and fees earned and everything, and the one that performed the best. So it's basically a overview of the whole rebalances of that strategy, because maybe one rebalance was really successful, but then another one was like, I don't know, minus 10% P&L. So this will be showing the complete strategy overview P&L of all of them combined, all the rebalances.
So I guess there's some kind of glitch that's not showing the P&L correctly for that.
Yeah, it was showing like before the presentation. I checked everything; it was showing fine, and I've never had any comments about this not working. So
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
Let me check this P&L stats. I think I know what happened here. It's because I changed. So it's probably because yeah. Let me. Well, I'll show you the copy trading, and then I'll log into a different account.
Okay.
So let's go to copy trading.
There's a question. I don't quite understand the question, but can you ask where we send out profits? I don't see a send button. I think that's just related to the fact that it's a custodial wallet. So
right. Yeah. So with the private key, you'll be able to connect any wallet application, whether it's Phantom or Soulflare or whatever, using the private key, right? So when Nova Commander showed how to export the private key, you can load that into any wallet app, and then you can just transfer the profits, or you can transfer whatever you want.
Yeah. So basically, once you import it in your whatever wallet you use, you will be able to transfer in and out either the profits or like anything if you want.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, so the reason why it's not showing anything here is because before the presentation, I changed this so it didn't reveal because I was using my personal email, I made personal wallet, but now it's not finding the positions created.
Okay.
So yeah, let me see if I can. Okay, so this is the copy trading dashboard where you can add your wallet, the wallet you want to copy. And you have a lot of options here as well. So you will input your wallet address. You can give it a name just so it knows it's easy to identify. You can set your max sold per position. So for example, let's say I don't want to have positions bigger than 1 sol. I will input 1 sol here. So if the wallet I'm copying decides to do, I don't know, 50 sol positions, I would do only 1 sol per position. Then you have a sol limit per wallet. So let's say I do 10. So the max amount of positions I will be able to create here is 10 positions, because it will create 10 positions of one sol. And my limit per subscription per wallet is 10. You can either leave this empty for unlimited, and this one as well. But if you do this, you will have to have the same balance as the wallet you're copying. And honestly, I don't recommend that. I always recommend to be like, enter whatever amount of sol you're comfortable spending per position. Depends, of course, it depends on your balance or your risk. But yeah, let's say, I don't know, 1 and 10. You can, for example, add this option, which is buying the missing token. Let's say the wallet you're copying wants to do, I don't know, a token you don't have, and sol pair. If you activate this, it will buy the token you're missing and add it as a liquidity, same as the copied wallet. You can also set this so when the position is closed, when it detects the copied wallet closed it will swap everything to sol. You can activate or deactivate that. I usually keep it like this because I want sol. I don't want any dodgy tokens. You can activate this one as well. There's a token risk check. It's the same as we had on the pools. This is with a rack check. So for example, you can set a max risk or whatever you want. The lower is here you can say 1% is the safest, 100% is the riskiest. So I'd say like a good average should be something about around 20. Nothing too risky, nothing too safe. Not too risky, not too safe. But of course, that depends on the user. Maybe like they don't even want to activate this. If they don't want to, they can. This is another option that's very useful. So for example, here you can see, let's say the wallet I'm copying has 10 sol in his balance and is doing 5 sol position. So if I activate this, so 5 sol out of his 10 sol balance is a 50% for him. So it will do a 50% of my max sol per position. So if I set 1 here, he's going to do a 5 sol position. I'm going to do a 0.5 sol position. So it's relative to his balance. Does it make sense? Or
so the total sol limit is what you want to apply to this, so that you can have 100 sol in your wallet, but only use 10 sol for copy trading.
yeah.
That's
so
cool. Yeah.
here you can see like your max sol per position becomes your reference balance. So
Yeah.
let's say, as you said, you can have 100 sol, but I just want to use my max per position. I want to be like 15
For following this
and
wallet. Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm. Yeah.
You can change it per wallet.
Yeah. Awesome.
So here's the example. So if the monitor wallet uses 30% of their balance, you lose 30% of your max, which is this one. For example, if they use 1 sol, it's a 30% of the balance. I'll use 0.3 sol.
So I guess the only thing is, if you enable that, it could end up sort of diluting the positions that you're following, right? So if maybe he only does 5% positions, maybe he only does 5% every time. So every time you open the position, then it's going to only do 0.05 sol, right?
Yes, it's an option because there's one of the guys I was talking with, one of the users, and he copied a guy that was doing like really small positions compared to his balance, and he was copying bigger amounts.
I see.
So this is kind of like you're taking the same risks as him. So you'd be like,
Right.
if the guy has 100 sol and he's using 100 sol for that position, it means it's really safe, or he has some inside information or whatever.
Right.
So you will copy his risk management as well.
Right. Yeah, that's good. That's a good feature to have.
It's so super cool. Nova Commander, did you put a custom message in for token 22 or token extensions?
Okay.
Or should I was gonna, someone said they were having some issues and I just thought I'd
Yeah.
mention that it doesn't support, but I don't want to say anything that's wrong. So
Okay.
is it
No, don't
still,
worry. Yeah.
you can't use token extension tokens, right? Token 22
No, not yet.
yet.
That's a feature I want to introduce, but it seems like at least the only coin I find that use that technology is Launchcoin. There's a few people that have been telling me that that's failing, and it's because of that. I don't know if have you noticed any other one that's using that?
No, not yet,
technology?
but someone mentioned that they were having some issues, so I just thought I'd put that out there.
Yeah. I think the PayPal stable token is also token 22, but I don't know. I don't know if there's, many people doing automations or copy trading on it.
Yeah, it's in the plans to add support to that, but since it's not very common, or at least not yet, it's on the list, but it's not like the top priority.
Yeah.
But it's gonna happen eventually.
Well, it sounds like you'll be getting some feedback because there's new users coming your way. So
Yeah.
that's good.
Okay, cool. That's great. Okay, and then you can, after this position sizing, if you want, you can use the risk management as well. So you could set this is also a new feature that I added not long ago, because there's people that were copying this wallet that had like a 50% loss. And they were like, why did you do that? So now you can set your own risk management. So you can either do a take profit or stop loss. Let's say if you had this set to, I don't know, like 15, then that wouldn't have happened, because when they reach the 15, minus 15%, you will have closed the position. And then swap everything to Sol if you have this enabled. So you can either set a take
every
profit
position that you're following. Like it could have 10 positions. Yeah. If 5 of them drop below 15, it would close all those 5.
Exactly. This is for subscription, so per wallet. So all of these, the wallet that you're covering, all of these positions will have these settings.
Okay.
So if
but it's by position. It's by position, not by the wallet. Or is it by the wallet? So if the wallet in total loses 15%, or is it?
No, this is per position. Let's say he opens 10 positions, and only one of them goes below minus 15. It will close that one, not all of them.
Okay.
Yeah, this is per position. You can exclude tokens if you want. There's another user that was telling me that he didn't want to copy positions that were with USDC. So you could just add the token address here, and it will, if it detects it, it will just keep it. If you leave it empty, you'll see that all positions will be copied. And you can also filter by strategy type. So only if it's a bid ask, for example, with Sol, you will input the Sol address here. So it will only copy positions that are bid ask Sol, or curve, or all of them if you want, or only spot and curve, or whatever combination you want. And yeah, there's a lot of options as well for copy trading. It's a very complete tool for copy trading as well, not only for strategies. You can customize a lot, and has a lot of risk management and customization. It's not just like copy that wallet, that's it.
Love the risk override. That's great.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that got burned with copying people, and literally they were like, why did you leave your position to be like minus 50%? Yeah, okay, so do you have any questions about, or does anyone have any question about copy trading?
No, I think it looks very powerful. I was wondering, so we're at about an hour and a half.
Oh,
Thinking we should probably start guiding it back towards the close, but I don't want to cut you off
okay,
either.
yeah.
I'm really enjoying it and this amazing, really powerful tool. So just thought I'd mention
Sorry,
it.
I didn't notice about the timing. Time flew by. Let me do a quick. Then I'll show you the. Well, you have if anything gets failed or skipped, here you will see in the logs. It will tell you the reason why it got skipped or why it failed, and it will show you also your open positions, your copied positions. Let me. Can you stop sharing the screen for a minute? I will log out and log in on a different account so I can. Let's see.
And for those of you that might have joined a little bit late and missed the site, it's right there, liquidnova.app. So no other questions, but definitely, people are very interested. Patrick's definitely interested in all the things that you've done here. I know I've been super impressed, and one thing that I started working with Nova Commander a while back, and he's very open to listen to feedback, and he's implemented a lot of features that I worked with him on, and then as he's gotten more users, been very responsive to other users and incorporating new features all the time. So it's constantly evolving. If you guys see something missing that you think should be in there, definitely reach out to Nova Commander or join the Discord. Let him know.
Yeah, is there anything you're looking to get out of this presentation specifically, or what you want to see happen next, Nova Commander? Like, are you looking to get collaborators? Are you looking for capital? Do you have a sort of coming into beta? Any thoughts?
Honestly, I don't have anything in mind. Just keep building, keep growing, and hopefully help people and also make a living out of it.
Do you want to talk about fees at all? Are you currently? Is it currently free or?
So for fee, it's very simple. If you want, we can. Let me share this presentation.
You ready to show your screen again?
Give me a second.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want to share the screen.
I think you gotta bring up the share again. It looked like it stopped sharing. There we go.
Okay, so for the fees, it's quick and simple. It's a 5% on the fees the user generates. It's here on the last bullet point.
Okay.
So basically, it's a 5% on the fees generated and a 0.5 on swaps. And that's it. There's no subscriptions. There's no rebalance fees. You can rebalance as many times as you want. Open and close positions. There's no NFTs needed. So that's it. If you don't earn any fees, we don't either. There's no charge for anything else. Just on the fees you generate.
So it's on
Total,
the
or
it's
after you close
5%,
the
5% on the fees. Not, it says profits there, but I think you mean 5% on the fees, right?
On the profits of the fees you generate, which is
Okay.
profit.
But if there's impermanent gain, you're not taking 5% of the impermanent gain, just only 5% of the fees.
of the fees, yeah.
Okay. Sorry, Otto.
as they get generated, not like when you close the position, not when you close the strategy. It's as they get created, as the fees accrue.
So it's when you close the strategy, when the position is closed, it calculates the fees you generated, and it's a 5% on that.
Okay.
That seems fair. I love the incentive alignment because, I mean, if it's successful and you're doing well, you don't mind that take. So that's
Yeah,
great.
because
Seems
people
smart.
are generating fees. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's fair for everyone, because literally, I'm a user as well. I've been using bots for a long time, and there's some bots that charge you for like opening positions. Or I remember I was using Trojan for the copy, and they take you a lot of per position, so you end up like paying a lot of fees that you didn't even generate. So I think this is a fair way of doing it. Just if you earn, we earn. If you don't, we don't.
Right.
Can I show you this real quick and then?
Yeah.
I'm having some problems with a user, but I can show you a video of how the P&L stats look like.
So another question here: if you have impermanent loss, do you still charge for the fees?
It's going to be computing the fees generated. So yes, if you generated fees, it will. Luckily, when you generate fees, most of the times, not always, but most of the time, you're winning, or at least you're even. But yeah, it's going to be on the fees generated. Let me check. Sorry, is there any more questions while I search for this?
I don't think so. Oh wait, there was one back here earlier when you were showing the custom strategy, and it says in path B can close position and drop and automatically swap to SOL. So yeah,
Sorry, was it?
it's they're asking if in path B can you close the position and then automatically swap to SOL.
Yes.
Oh, I know
Yeah.
the answer to this. Yes. I know this one.
Yeah, there's a you can do pretty much any automation you can think of.
Yeah, I love that flexibility.
What about
Can I
latency,
share?
Nova Commander? Have you seen, has it been operating smoothly in the sense of like it executes trades, gets on chain when you expect? I mean, assuming that you put the slippage right and all that stuff, but is it operating in real time as you would expect, and there's not a lag because it's using a custodial wallet, so it should like trigger quite quickly as long as your back end is operating right.
Yes, it's usually around. So what I'm doing behind the scene is like collecting all the information that needs to be processed and processed all together, and then flushing them all together so I can handle like a big load. It's usually 10 seconds probably. It really depends a lot on like traffic and stuff like that. But to process the whole strategy, so you will get updates every 10 seconds.
Right. For triggers or copy trades
Yeah.
or things like that. Okay. Yeah.
And then the
copy
actual
trading,
execution, once you've gathered all the information, is the execution relatively fast as well?
yes, I mean the execution depends on your set network fees but usually for copy trading, I've been checking it because one of the latest I added, and it's usually about 3 or 4 seconds from detected to copy it.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Can I share a video real quick?
Yeah, we can try. Let's see.
Hmm. Okay, ready.
All right.
So this is a quick tour video. I want to show you how the P&L stats look like. It's a quick one. You can also do swaps from inside the Liquid Nova.
Very nice.
So you would click
Yeah,
on the
it's great to
swap.
get this on the recording too, because people can go back and slow it down if they need to. Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah, sorry, I cannot show it with my user because I had that issue I told you
Yeah.
about, but
No worries. Yeah, I really love the look and feel that you put into this. Can definitely see that that you've got graphic artist talent here. So your day job, you work as a, you do like video and graphic design. Is that right?
I do a lot of things. Yeah, it's not my day job. My day job is it's entertainment, but it's completely different.
Okay.
But like photography, editing, music, uh, everything like art related.
Yeah. It's great to when you see art joining technology like you've done here, and like even in the when you're setting up the strategy, like your little animations and stuff when the liquidity flows in. It's very, very cool. Very nice.
Thank you. I think that's it on my end. It's almost 2 hours now. But
Fantastic. Well, we call it a deep dive, right?
That's right. That's right.
deep dive.
Yeah, I guess I already asked kind of what type of feed or what you're looking to do next, but is there any specific type of feedback or there's been 2,500 views on X, so we're definitely getting you some exposure, which is awesome. But anything regarding growth or would you like the LP Army to help you out in any specific way?
To be honest, like as I said, like just general feedback, users using it and telling me what they like, what they don't like, what they would like to see, like features to be added. There's been a few features already that have been asked for and that I already made, already updated them. And it would be cool, to be honest, to have like the LP armies, as I said before, like creating their presets and be like, oh, hey, try this preset, or just like showing how you can automate everything really easily and letting people just load the presets and maybe create their own based on that preset. There's a lot of opportunities. That would be really cool.
Yeah, I love that. I would definitely like I'm a little bit less on the degen side, but I imagine it depends on whether like within 24 hours of launch, a certain strategy would need to be tweaked, or this one's good for if Sol starts ripping. It's a blue chip, so you're not going to get a lot of fees, but it can follow the trend and sort of all those retraces, with
Mhm.
a bid ask flip or whatever. So like I love that part of it, and it'll be neat to see how people specify how a strategy should be used, right?
Yeah, like that would be really, really cool.
Yeah.
There's one thing I forgot to mention. You can either use this on your desktop or on your mobile. It's also responsive for mobile, so you can just use it anywhere.
So it's React Native, or what are you using?
No, it's React. I'm using Next and React. But
Awesome.
like if you load the website on your mobile, you will see it like a app.
It's a responsive view.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Why don't you take us home, GeekLad?
All right. Well, thanks so much for your time, Nova Commander. Thank you for your time, Otto. Really appreciate you guys joining us. Looking forward to the next one. And yeah, so if you guys are interested in checking out Liquid Nova, be sure to go to the website liquidnova.app, sign up for an account, and you will need to go to the Discord to get an invite code. So the Discord link is there on the website. So, all right.
Oh, I guess one last thing I did have. You don't yet have a channel in the LP Army Discord for feedback,
No.
right? Liquid Note. So we'll get that put in also.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
It's cool.
All right, guys. Thanks so much.
All right.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Thank you all. Thank you.